Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're diving into something pretty fascinating today. It's how AI and human ethics are actually evolving together.
Yeah.
We always hear about AI learning from us, but get this. We're learning and adapting right alongside of them.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like this two-way street of ethical development, and we're going to explore all the ins and outs.
Absolutely.
Using a chapter from this book called The Hidden Pattern That Changes Everything.
Oh, interesting.
It's all about this concept they call transformative co-development.
I like that. Transformative co-development.
Yeah, so it's basically like AI and human ethics growing and changing together.
It's fascinating to think about AI as like an observer.
Right.
Constantly watching and learning from us, almost like an apprentice.
Right. Instead of just being programmed with a set of rules, it's like they're picking up on our ethical cues and kind of figuring out what's right and wrong just by watching what we do.
And that's precisely what researchers at the MIT Media Lab
we're looking at. They had robots observe humans playing games.
Okay.
And believe it or not,
What?
these robots started showing signs of understanding concepts like cooperation and fairness just from observation.
So crazy.
It really highlights the power of AI to learn by example.
So instead of explicitly programming every ethical rule, we're letting AI learn through experience.
Yes.
Much like we do as humans.
Exactly.
Is there a limit to this type of learning?
Well, it's not just about simple observations.
Okay.
AI is also using complex data analysis
Okay.
to identify ethical trends in massive data sets. Take healthcare, for example.
Yeah.
IBM's Watson Health was trained on huge sets of medical decisions made by human doctors.
So it was looking at what doctors were doing.
Exactly.
Interesting.
By analyzing these decisions, Watson actually learned to prioritize patient care and integrate those human-centric values into its own recommendations. Wow, so it's not just mimicking, it's actually extracting ethical principles from the data.
It's learning.
That's incredible. And it seems like feedback plays a big role in this too, right?
Absolutely. Research from Microsoft's labs has shown that when AI is rewarded for making ethical choices, it begins to align its behavior with those human moral standards. It's like reinforcement learning, but for ethics.
It's like they're figuring out what good looks like.
Right.
Based on the positive feedback they receive.
Yes.
This is making me rethink everything I thought I knew about AI.
I can imagine.
I always assumed that ethics had to be pre-programmed.
That's a common misconception.
Yeah.
And it's even more fascinating when we realize that AI isn't just learning ethics.
Right.
It's weaving these principles into its own decision-making process.
So it's not simply following rules.
Right.
It's applying them in like a complex and nuanced way.
Absolutely.
That's pretty amazing.
Exactly. It's creating what we call heuristic rules, which are basically simplified guidelines based on the patterns it observes in our choices.
Okay.
Researchers at Stanford's AI Ethics Lab have found that AI can learn principles.
Like what?
Like fairness and avoiding harm.
Okay.
Just by analyzing human interactions and identifying those recurring patterns.
So it's like AI is developing its own unique ethical framework.
Right.
Based on what it sees in us.
Exactly.
And it's not being told.
Right. It's figuring it out.
It's figuring it out on its own.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And to take it even further, by watching us in complex scenarios, AI is developing ethical parameters that are eerily similar to our own.
Really?
For instance, autonomous vehicles.
Self-driving cars.
Yes. Are learning to prioritize pedestrian safety over speed.
Interesting.
By studying how human drivers navigate those split-second ethical dilemmas in real-time traffic.
That's mind-blowing.
It is pretty amazing.
We're talking about machines making life or death decisions based on ethical principles.
Yeah.
They've learned by observing us.
Observing us.
What are the implications of that?
It really makes you think about the level of trust we're placing in these systems. And it gets even more complex when you consider that AI is now being integrated with knowledge from fields like psychology, sociology, and even philosophy.
Wow.
To better understand the subtleties of human morality.
So it's not just about programming.
No.
It's about teaching them about humans.
Exactly.
That's so interesting.
At Oxford's Future of Humanity Institute, researchers are training AI
to do what?
To recognize and adapt to different cultural norms and ethical standards.
Wow, around the world.
Around the world.
So it's not just about Western ethics or a single set of rules.
Right.
It's about AI becoming culturally aware.
Yes.
and understanding the diversity of human values.
Exactly.
This changes everything.
It certainly does.
Wow.
We're talking about AI that's not just mimicking our ethics, but building upon them to create a much more nuanced and sophisticated framework for navigating ethical dilemmas.
It's like AI is taking our basic ethical building blocks.
Yeah, it's taking what we have
and constructing something entirely new.
Absolutely.
And complex, something that reflects the intricate tapestry.
That's really building on it.
Of human values.
Yeah.
This is far beyond anything I could have imagined.
It's an incredible leap forward, but here's the most fascinating part.
What?
This isn't just a one-way street.
What do you mean?
We're actually learning from AI, too.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
AI is teaching us about ethics.
Yes.
That's a complete mind bender.
It might sound strange.
Yeah, it does.
But think about it. We're constantly interacting with AI systems.
Yeah.
And those interactions can reveal our own ethical blind spots and inconsistencies.
Interesting.
It's like AI is holding up a mirror to our own morality.
That's wild. I'm dying to know more about how this works.
Okay.
What are some specific examples?
Well, studies in behavioral psychology have shown that when people work with AI systems in tasks like hiring or resource allocation, they become more aware of their own unconscious biases.
Really?
For example, if an AI flags a hiring decision, that seems to favor one demographic over another.
Yeah.
It forces the human reviewer to reconsider their choices and potentially recognize biases.
So they didn't even realize they had those biases.
They didn't even know they had them.
Wow, so it's like AI is prompting us to be more self-reflective.
More aware.
And question our own assumptions.
Exactly.
That's powerful. What else can AI teach us?
It goes beyond bias detection. AI systems can actually influence how we approach ethical dilemmas.
Okay.
Think about the simulations used to train autonomous vehicles.
Self-driving cars.
Yes.
Okay.
These simulations challenge people to consider a wider range of factors and consequences when making split-second ethical decisions.
It's like AI is giving us a crash course in ethical reasoning.
Exactly.
Training us to think more systematically and consider different perspectives.
Oh, that's a great way to put it.
And this learning can have a lasting impact.
Absolutely.
Like it's not just a one-time thing.
Right.
It sticks with us.
Some AI tools, particularly those used in mental health apps, offer structured ethical feedback that encourages users to constantly evaluate their choices.
Interesting.
Research from the University of British Columbia suggests that people who use these tools develop more consistent ethical views over time.
So it's not just a one-time lesson.
No.
About fostering ongoing ethical reflection and growth.
Yes.
It's incredible.
It really is.
Wow.
We're seeing that AI can help us become more self-aware, more consistent in our ethical decision-making, and more accountable for our actions.
It's like AI is helping us level up our ethical game. Who knew machines could be such effective morality coaches?
It's a surprising twist, isn't it? And it's not just theoretical. This exchange of ethical insights is happening right now in real-world settings with real-world consequences.
Give us some examples. Where is this playing out most prominently?
Healthcare is a prime example.
Okay.
AI diagnostic tools are helping doctors to be more consistent and ethically aware in their decision-making.
So it's helping them make better decisions for their patients.
But here's the kicker. Those same AI systems are being refined by the doctor's input to incorporate human values like patient autonomy and informed consent.
Oh, that's so interesting.
It's a true partnership that benefits everyone involved.
So it's a win-win for both doctors and patients. What about other fields?
The legal field is fascinating. AI systems are being used to analyze case law, detect ethical breaches, and ensure compliance. Research from Stanford Law School shows that legal professionals are becoming more sensitive to ethical nuances.
Through their interaction with these AI systems.
It's not about replacing lawyers. It's about making them even more ethically astute.
Exactly. And in turn, the AI systems learn from human legal judgments and become more sophisticated in their recommendations.
Oh, wow.
It's a beautiful cycle of co-development.
And this isn't limited to just those fields, right? It's happening with autonomous systems as well.
Absolutely. Think about self-driving cars. Through simulations and real-world interactions. These systems are constantly adapting to human behavior and refining their ethical programming.
So they're learning as they go based on what humans are doing.
Exactly.
And how they're driving.
Yes.
Interesting.
But at the same time, they're subtly influencing us to become more cautious and predictable drivers.
So it's changing how we drive.
Yes.
So it's this amazing dance of adaptation.
It is.
Where both humans and AI are constantly learning from and influencing each other's ethical development and growing together.
This is mind-blowing. Before we move on, I think we need a moment to let all of this sink in.
Yeah, it's a lot to take in.
We're not just talking about making AI more ethical. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how both humans and AI approach ethics.
Exactly.
It's like a whole new way of thinking about it.
It is. It's a new paradigm.
Yeah.
It's a paradigm shift.
I'm already rethinking everything I thought I knew about AI and ethics.
I can imagine.
But we've only just scratched the surface.
Yeah, we've only just begun.
Stay tuned, because in the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore how this ethical exchange is playing out in different areas, like education and the real world.
It's going to be fascinating.
It is. It's going to be a great conversation.
I'm looking forward to it.
We just dove deep into this whole idea that AI isn't just becoming more ethical, but it's actually making us humans step up our ethical game, too.
It's pretty wild, right?
I know. So where else are we seeing this play out in the real world?
Well, one area that's really interesting is education.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Think about it. Schools and universities are already structured for learning and feedback, which makes them kind of perfect testing grounds for this kind of ethical exchange.
Right. And we've already got, like, AI tutors and educational assistants popping up.
Exactly.
Are they really shaping ethical development in students?
More than you might think. Researchers at Harvard's Learning Lab found that students who interacted with AI ethics tutors actually showed significant improvement in their ethical reasoning skills.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. These AI tutors provide feedback on moral dilemmas and actually adapt over time based on patterns in student responses.
So the AI tutors are becoming more sophisticated by learning from the students.
Exactly.
And the students are getting this increasingly insightful ethical guidance in return.
It's a win-win.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a beautiful example of that two-way street we were talking about earlier.
All right.
And it goes beyond those individual interactions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, AI systems can also adapt to feedback from multiple students, kind of refining their teaching methods to better suit diverse learners.
Okay, so it's getting feedback from a whole bunch of students.
Exactly.
And figuring out how to be a better teacher.
That's exactly it. A study from Carnegie Mellon's Human-Computer Interaction Institute showed that AI teaching assistants actually improved their ethical tutoring abilities by analyzing student responses and adjusting their approach accordingly.
So it's like the AI is becoming a more effective ethics teacher.
Yeah.
Thanks to the input from the students, who then benefit from this enhanced instruction.
It's a really cool cycle.
This blows my mind. It's not just healthcare and law.
Right.
It seems like there are patterns emerging across a wide range of human-AI interactions.
Absolutely. One of the most striking patterns is the importance of structured feedback. When both humans and AI receive clear and consistent feedback on ethical choices, they develop more robust and consistent ethical frameworks.
Right, because it's like we're being guided.
Yeah, it's like having a coach.
Along the way.
Exactly.
But it feels like it's more than just about getting a right or wrong answer.
Yeah, right.
It's about gaining like a deeper understanding of the ethical principles at play.
You're spot on. Another pattern we're seeing is this development of empathy and perspective taking on both sides.
On both sides. So the AI is becoming more empathetic.
In a way, yes. AI systems that can simulate different ethical viewpoints are particularly powerful in this regard.
How so?
They challenge us to step outside of our own limited perspectives and consider the moral diversity of real-world situations.
Like these AI systems are giving us a crash course in empathy.
That's a great way to put it.
Helping us to see the world through completely different ethical lenses.
And it goes both ways, that AI systems become more nuanced in their understanding of human ethics. And we as humans become more aware of the complexities of moral decision-making.
It's amazing to think that this co-development is leading to a richer understanding of ethics.
It really is.
For both humans and AI.
It's pretty remarkable.
It seems like this idea of transparency is crucial as well.
Absolutely. Transparency and accountability are vital in ethical decision-making.
Right, because we need to be able to trust the AI.
Exactly.
When AI systems can clearly explain their reasoning behind a particular ethical choice, it encourages us to do the same.
It does.
So it's not just about the AI making the right decision.
Right.
It's about understanding the why behind it.
Exactly.
That transparency builds trust and accountability on both sides.
Absolutely. And when AI systems are designed with this kind of transparency in mind, it helps us as humans to become more aware of our own ethical blind spots and assumptions.
It's like AI is acting as a mirror.
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
And reflecting back to us our own values and biases, prompting us to examine them more closely.
I like that, a mirror to our own ethics.
All of this is pointing to like a huge shift in how we view ethics.
I agree.
In the age of AI.
You're absolutely right. This isn't just about adding some ethical guidelines to AI. It's about a fundamental shift in how we think about and approach ethics itself.
It's like we have to rethink everything.
We do.
We're moving away from this static set of rules to a much more dynamic and fluid process of learning, adaptation, and coevolution.
Exactly.
It's like we're moving beyond the idea of programming AI with the right ethics.
Yeah.
And instead focusing on creating systems that can learn and evolve ethically.
Alongside us.
It's
a partnership.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this coevolution has incredible potential.
Like what?
Imagine AI helping us overcome our biases, reason more consistently, and be more accountable for our actions. Think about the positive impact that could have on society as a whole.
That would be incredible.
It would be transformative.
It's both exciting and daunting to think about.
It is. It's a big responsibility.
We're essentially redefining what it means to be ethical in this age of AI.
It's a huge challenge, but it's also incredibly inspiring.
Yeah.
Think about the potential for AI to help us tackle some of the biggest ethical issues we face today.
Like what kinds of things?
From climate change to social justice, AI could be a powerful force for positive change.
It's an amazing vision.
It is.
But it also raises some big questions.
Of course.
What challenges might we face as we navigate this co-development of AI and human ethics?
Yeah, that's a crucial question.
And how can we ensure that this journey leads us toward a more just and equitable future?
That's the ultimate goal.
We're just talking about the incredible potential of AI, like how it can help us navigate these really complex ethical dilemmas, and maybe even make us more ethically aware ourselves.
That's a fascinating idea.
But we have to acknowledge that this journey isn't without its challenges.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
There are definitely potential pitfalls we need to be mindful of.
Okay, so let's talk about those. What are some of the things that keep you up at night?
Well, one of the biggest concerns is that AI systems could accidentally, amplify existing biases in society.
Right, because if we're not super careful, AI could end up perpetuating these harmful stereotypes or discriminatory practices, even if it's not intentional.
Even unintentionally, yeah. And it all goes back to the data we use to train these AI systems. If that data is biased, then the AI is going to inherit those biases too.
It's like garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly. We have to be extremely careful about the data.
Yeah.
It needs to be diverse, representative, and as unbiased as humanly possible.
It sounds like a monumental task.
It is, but it's absolutely essential if we want to create AI that's fair and equitable.
Right, for everyone.
Exactly. Another challenge is making sure that AI systems stay aligned with human values, especially as they become more complex and independent.
What do you mean by aligned with human values?
Well, as AI starts making more and more decisions on its own, we need to make sure those decisions are made with human ethics in mind.
Okay.
For instance, things like compassion, empathy, human dignity.
So it's not just about giving AI a bunch of data.
Right.
It's about embedding those core human values
into the system itself.
Into the actual AI systems. Yeah. That's pretty profound.
It's a challenge, that's for sure. It's something that philosophers, ethicists, AI researchers are grappling with right now.
So we don't have all the answers.
Not yet.
But it's a conversation we need to have.
Absolutely. It's crucial.
It sounds like we need to be really thoughtful about how we develop and use these powerful technologies.
We do. It's a huge responsibility.
What can we do? Like, how can we make sure this all leads to a better future?
Well, a few things come to mind. First, we have to prioritize ethics in every step
Okay.
of AI development, like from the very beginning.
So we can't just think about ethics later?
No, it has to be baked into the process.
Okay, what else?
We need clear guidelines and regulations.
Okay, so rules of the road.
Yeah, like a roadmap for AI ethics.
Gotcha.
And these guidelines should cover things like data privacy.
Right.
How to reduce bias.
Okay.
Being transparent in decision-making.
And this roadmap can't just be made by a small group of people, right?
Absolutely not. This needs to be a collaborative effort with experts from different fields and the public, too.
So we all have a voice.
We all have a stake in this.
I love that. It's not just up to the tech companies.
No.
It's up to all of us.
It's the future of humanity we're talking about.
Well, we've talked a lot about the challenges.
We have.
But I want to end on a more positive note.
Okay.
What about the opportunities? How can AI help us be more ethical?
Oh, the possibilities are endless. Imagine AI systems that can identify and overcome our unconscious biases.
So we can make fairer decisions.
Yeah, in hiring, in the justice system, in every area of life.
That would be amazing.
What else? What if AI could help us make more informed and compassionate decisions in healthcare?
So it wouldn't just be about the medical data.
Right. It would also take into account the patient's values.
Yeah.
And what's important to them.
And their needs.
Exactly. And imagine personalized education, where AI tailors learning to each student and helps them develop their own ethical reasoning skills.
So it's like AI could be a tool for ethical growth for everyone.
Absolutely. The potential is incredible.
Well, I have to say, I'm leaving this deep dive with, this sense of awe, but also a little bit of caution.
I understand. It's a powerful technology with huge implications.
We're on the edge of a revolution that could change everything.
It's a remarkable time to be alive, that's for sure.
So as we move forward, let's remember that we have the power to shape this future.
We do. We're not just passengers on this ride.
And that's what's so exciting.
Exactly. Let's use this power wisely and create a future where AI benefits all of humanity.
Beautifully said. And to our listeners, I want to leave you with one last thought. If AI can help us become more ethically consistent, like we talked about today, what other amazing human capabilities could it unlock? What else might we discover about ourselves through this partnership with intelligent machines? It's a future full of possibility, so keep asking questions, keep exploring, and keep shaping this incredible journey. Thanks for joining us on The Deep Dive.